First off, I apologize for wearing sunglasses while I'm talking. I do have a little migraine right now, and I'm just sitting in my car right at the moment. I have to start it from time to time. Anyways, I want to talk about triggers. What triggers my panic attacks? For me personally, everyone has different triggers, so I'm going to talk about my triggers. Especially when I'm away from home. I'm just sitting in my car in my driveway right now, but you can be, if you're housebound like myself, even though you see me going places like going for walks to the parks, to the pond, driving to the mall. Most of the places I've been driving to, they're anywhere from 5 minutes to about 20 minutes away. The farthest I have gone ever since I started having this disorder was about a little bit over an hour away. This last September 2017, I went to my aunt and uncle's house, which is about over an hour away. I didn't drive, my dad drove. I just sat in the passenger seat. It was a few days after summer, so it was the beginning of fall. Was still feeling hot, especially here in California. It's even during winter, sometimes it still gets pretty nice and hot here during fall and winter. But that's besides the point. When you have panic disorder and you're housebound, sometimes even when you're outside your backyard, you can feel the panic. Even though you're just outside your front or backyard, you don't feel like you don't even feel like you're like you're outside your house. You feel like you're miles and miles away from your house, even though your house is just a couple of feet. Even you could be outside your front door. You could just take like a couple of steps. You could be even a couple of inches away. You can tiptoe right outside your house for a couple centimeters, inches, and you can still feel like you're so far away from your house, even though it's just right behind you. Because your mind automatically thinks, "Oh my God, I'm away from my safe zone." Your safe zone could be just your bedroom. For myself, my safe zone was my entire house, and still I started feeling more panicky in the living room, the kitchen, the bathroom, other bedrooms around the house, and then slowly I couldn't even leave my bedroom. Like going to the bathroom was a nightmare for me for the longest time. I'm over that now. I mean, I have to use the bathroom. There's nothing I can do. But when I was having that fear of getting off my bed, I wouldn't even drink that much water. I wouldn't even eat that much. Anything to do so I can avoid getting off my bed. By me doing all these things like not drinking water or any liquid, or eating as much, just to avoid using the bathroom, because I was so scared of getting off my bed for the dizziness, the off balance, the vertigo attacks that I get from time to time. It is scary. Unless you went through it, you wouldn't understand. But as far as triggers when I'm away from home, like I say, I could be like on my driveway. I could trigger myself into having a panic attack, because I think, what if I closed the door and no one was home, and I forgot to grab my house keys? I'm going to be stuck outside my house. What if I had to use the bathroom? What if I get lightheaded and I just pass out in front of my house? No one's going to see me. What if I threw up all over myself and I embarrassed myself, and then people walk by and saw me just laying on the floor, they don't know that something happened to me. It's not just being outside there. You're afraid that you're gonna have a panic attack. You're afraid to embarrass yourself. You're afraid, what if you embarrass someone else that's with you, right? So as far as the triggers, if let's say I'm driving to go get something to eat, You know, it could be 5 minutes away from home. You know, I could be stuck at all the red lights. You know, I live not too far from a busy street that has like a lot of stop signs, red lights, and stuff like that. You know, sometimes I could be that 5 minutes drive could take 15-20 minutes because of traffic, waiting for the lights and whatnot. You know, as soon as I hit a light, right, what can happen to me? I could trigger myself to a panic attack. I could be sitting there like, oh my god, how long is this light gonna take? Oh my god, what if I pass out in the car while at the light? What if I have a panic attack? You know, and I can't move because the red light, there's cars in front of me, there's cars in the side of me. I can't do anything. You know, it's for that quick few seconds you allow yourself to think. Instantly you can have a panic attack. Your own thinking could create you to have a panic attack. You know, for myself, if I go somewhere where I had a panic attack and I walk by, I'm like, oh, instantly I walk like, okay, la la la, I feel fine. And then something in my mind, hey, remember you had a panic attack here? What's gonna happen? That's a trigger, because you have panic attack there, and then you keep walking there, and then you're gonna be thinking, oh my god, if I walk in the street, I might have a panic attack because I had a panic attack there before. What if I cross the street before that block and I go around there? I should be fine. And then you start thinking, oh my god, what if I cross that street and I have a panic attack in the new street? Then I won't be able to go for my walks. I can't go towards the street. I have to go around my block. What if I go take a turn on this street and I have a panic attack there? And how about if I go this way? I might have a panic attack there. You know, so you start triggering yourself to have panic attack simply by having bad memories of where you had your panic attack. You know, for myself, you might not notice, or you might notice right now I'm kind of breathing a little heavy because I do get flashbacks from time to time, especially if I'm sitting in my own car, because, you know, like I mentioned, my car is where I had my first panic attack. That's why I still haven't drove my car, but I'm still gonna sit in my car, start it, but I won't drive it, you know. But I do plan on driving my car again. So people ask me, what's the difference between me driving my car, or the car you've been seeing me drive, my dad's car? Well, like I mentioned, you know, my car was the first place I had a panic attack. So if I drove, I had a panic attack in my dad's car, right, I might still be able to drive it because, you know, I've been able to control my panic attacks better. But if I'm going to go into the car that I have my first panic attack, it will give me flashback. It will give me memories of like where I had my panic attack. It will give me, like, you know, it will make me also think, why was I on this street? Why was I driving my car? Why did I even drove that day? What if I stay home that day? Would I had a panic attack? What if I was in a different car? What if I was at home sleeping? Would I have a panic attack? And then you start thinking. So that's why when I'm driving my dad's car, I still feel panicky from time to time. But I'm able to push through as far as my car, like I mentioned. It will give me flashbacks, you know. So that's why it still gives me a hard time. But I mean, you know, I'm still able to sit in my car compared to my first few months, for maybe even half a year or over half a year. I was not even able to stare at my car. I was not even able to go near my car. Every time I was in my front yard, I would cover my eyes, look away from my car. If I start walking, I see a car like mine, I envision myself in that car having a panic attack because I'm having flashbacks. So flashbacks wherever you had your first few panic attack, especially your first panic attack or your worst panic attack, those places will become a trigger. My second panic attack happened at the mall, about 20 minutes away. It took me a year and a half or so to actually go back. The last time I went back there was, I think, sometime last November 2017. At first I was like kind of panicky, and then I just went there with my daughter, and my daughter was with me with my first panic attack and my second panic attack. So by going there with her, even though I didn't drive my car, I drove my dad's car, I feel a little bit calmer. I had a little flashback, but I was able to handle. But if I was driving my car, most likely I would instantly want to turn back. The other thing that triggers me to have panic attacks besides the red lights, like today, my daughter wanted to go buy some face masks for herself and her friend. I didn't go into the makeup store. Why? Because when you have sensory overload, most of us with panic disorder, most likely we have sensory overload, meaning you might not, you can see too much things, like too much people, too much bright color, too many patterns on, like, let's say, the floor, the bed sheets, too much bright lights, shiny floor, just too much of anything. A certain smell could be a sensory overload. That's why I didn't go into the makeup store, because I knew if I went in, I would feel panicky, because the sensory overload would get to me from the smell of makeup stuff. And then we went next door to the pet shop. I was fine in there for a little bit, but I started getting a little dizzy. But I was fine. I didn't record that, but I was there for a couple minutes. Then went home, went for a quick walk with my daughter. The other thing with triggers is, instantly weather change. Sometimes when the weather goes from hot to cold, vice versa, sunny to cloudy, that can be a trigger, because you can start thinking, oh my god, they just got sunny out of nowhere, or they got dark out of nowhere. Am I losing my eyesight? Any little thing can trigger you to have a panic attack. For myself, like I mentioned, when you're away from home, even a few feet away from your home, you feel like you're not even outside your house, even though you feel like you're not outside your safe zone. Even though your house is like way in front of your face, it feels like you're so far away from it. It's because you're thinking, oh my god. Once you say, oh my god, that's the worst thing that can pop into your mind. Oh my god leads into what if could lead into oh my god. And then those things can lead into, negative thoughts, fear of this, fear of that. Like I said, sometimes when I'm coming home, and then for my walk, sometimes I do go like, oh my god, did I bring my keys? Like I mentioned earlier, what if I didn't bring my key, no one is at home? Did I turn off the stove? It's like an OCD kind of thing. Then you start thinking this, you start thinking that. That's what happens to me. Those are my triggers. Anytime I give myself enough time to think, it's a trigger. It doesn't matter if I wake up in the morning, like half awake, half asleep, and then I look around my room, and then I start thinking, why am I looking around my room? And then I start questioning myself, like, why am I saying why? That could be a trigger too. Anything could be a trigger. Like I say, anything that pops up in your head, could trigger you to have a panic attack. Sometimes it could be a smell. Sometimes it could be someone you see. It could be something you heard, something you eat, whatever it is. For me personally, when I had a hard time eating for the longest time, for a couple of months with panic disorder, because I would if I get a stomach ache, upset stomach, feel sick to my stomach, instantly I did not want to eat that food, because that, in my mind, that food would trigger me to feel nauseated. Nauseated equals wanting to throw up, and that's my phobia, wanting to throw up. So if someone says, "Oh my, I feel sick to my stomach," by them saying that, they could trigger me into having a panic attack, and things like that. So you have to figure out what your trigger is and work on not allowing you to get into that stage of wanting to say, "Oh my God, what if?" But that's pretty much it.